The year 2022 was a very eventful and memorable year for the Nigerian Navy. It was the year that the Nigerian Navy consolidated and deepened its relationship with domestic and international maritime stakeholders. It was in 2022 that Nigerian Navy also deployed its newest warship, NNS Kada, on national assignment to Guinea-Bissau. It was also in 2022 that Nigerian Navy also deployed its men and assets to repatriate the MT heroic Edu from Equatorial Guinea. 2022 was also very memorable because it was in 2022 that the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari, commissioned the sport facility in Navy Town, Ojo. In 2022, Nigerian Navy maintained its focus in ensuring a safe and secure maritime domain. I can go on and on, but please don't go away. This will form the major segment of the program. I am Jibrin Baba Ndache.
The Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo, on Tuesday, 17th January 2023, paid a visit to the African Union headquarters, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. During the visit, the Navy boss met with the chairperson of the African Commission, Mr. Musa Faki Mohammed. Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo and his team also had a meeting with the Executive Secretary of the Committee of Intelligence and Security Services of Africa, Ambassador Zainab Ali Kotoko. The Chief of the Naval Staff, along with other service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police, joined the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, on Sunday, 15th January 2023, to commemorate the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebrations. Armed Forces Remembrance Day is a day set aside annually for the remembrance of Nigeria's fallen heroes. This year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day, held at the Eagle Square, Abuja, had in attendance the Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawal, Speaker House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, and other top government officials. The Nigerian Navy emerged winner of the maiden paintball competition organized by the Defense Headquarters, Abuja, in collaboration with forest hunters on Saturday, 14th January 2023. The competition, which took place at 3 Bridges Park, Idu, the Federal Capital Territory, was organized as part of activities to commemorate this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Paintballing is a sport dated back to 1960 in the United States of America. It involves a simulation of a live combat scenario using dummy ammunition with paint bullets, among other things. The special guest of honor and Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Rabo, while addressing the audience, disclosed that the paintball competition is novel in the armed forces. However, the Defense Headquarters considered it worthwhile because of what it represents for the armed forces and the youths of Nigeria, as well as its potential of deepening military-civilian interaction in the country. Presenting the trophy to the team and medals to the participants, the Chief of the Naval Staff commended the team for emerging the best. The Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo, earlier on January 13, 2023, received the Chief Executive Officer, Jampu Group, Mr. Mohammed Shafiq, in his office. The CEO was at the naval headquarters on a courtesy visit to the Navy Chief. Jampo Group is an international brand with a tradition of partnership with emerging nations in Africa and beyond, delivering shipping, power, mining, equipment, and trading solutions to countries. Similarly, the Norwegian ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Not Aliv Lien, paid a courtesy visit to the Chief of the Naval Staff on Wednesday, 11th January 2023 at the Naval Headquarters, Abuja. Still on the same day, the Defense Attaché of the United Kingdom, Brigadier General M.E. Monroe, was also at the Naval Headquarters, Abuja. And as part of the visit, matters bordering on strategic synergies and collaborations that will benefit both countries were discussed. A secured national territory, be it land, air, or sea, is the utmost priority of any military across the globe. As a matter of fact, the strength or weakness of a country is rated in terms of its military power and capability. The Nigerian Navy, one of the nation's armed forces, is saddled with the sole responsibility of safeguarding the sovereignty of Nigeria's territory along its waterways, as well as the protection of its oil and gas infrastructures, ensuring a safe maritime environment for guaranteed trade and other legitimate undertakings in and around the country's maritime domain. The Nigerian Navy, under the sterling leadership of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Zubairu Gambo, in the year 2022, saw remarkable transformations across boards. In line with its mandate and the political will of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the strategic direction of the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salih Magashi, retired, the unflinching support of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, and the determination of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Zubairu Gambo in 2022, the Nigerian Navy made unprecedented gains in the area of fleet recapitalization and acquisition of a variety of platforms, operations, trainings, welfare of officers and ratings, collaborations, and more. In 2022, the Nigerian Navy acquired some capital ships, fast patrol boats, and inshore patrol crafts, as well as air assets. To further consolidate on its deterrent capabilities against maritime crimes and other criminalities, the Nigerian Navy on May 27, 2022, took delivery of a landing ship tank LST-1314, NNS Kada, built by Demen Group. The addition of NNS Kada signaled the ability of Nigerian Navy to deliver on one of its roles, that is, strategic sea lift operations whenever the need arises. And as such, in August 2022, NNS Kada made its maiden historic deployment to a disembark military hardwares to Guinea-Bissau as part of Nigeria's commitment to the ECOWAS Stabilization Support Mission. And in September 2022, the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salih Magashi, performed the key laying ceremony for two 76-meter high endurance offshore patrol vessels, a formal naval tradition signaling the commencement of the construction of a ship. Still in the year 2022, the Nigerian Navy formalized arrangements for the delivery of a 35-meter hydrographic survey ship for shallow water, two 32-meter fast patrol boats, three 46-meter fast patrol boats, and four 15-meter intercepted boats to be integrated with the Nigerian Navy Falcon Eye alignment. Others are 2 35-meter fast patrol crafts, 40 79-meter rigged hand inflatable boats, 80 flat-bottom boats, 20 aluminium air boats, 3 brand new helicopters, 4 Type EP-55 unmanned aerial vehicles to be integrated with a maritime domain awareness system, 12 CTS Ovation unmanned aerial vehicles, and 6 Epsilon aerial vehicles. It is worthy of note that the Nigerian Navy has already taken delivery of a good number of the aforementioned platforms, with some already inducted into the Nigerian Navy fleet. The year 2022 will not be complete without the mention of the 66th anniversary of one of the largest navies and the 2022 Navy Week. Events marking the anniversary reflected both the outstanding revolutions witnessed by the service in the past 66 years and its leadership role in regional maritime security. The International Maritime Conference, with the theme Optimizing Collaboration for Maritime Security and Socio-Economic Development in Africa, was a huge success, with participants from foreign navies led by their heads of navy or representatives and international maritime stakeholders. The flag off of a regional maritime exercise held in One, Rivers State, in addition to a press briefing, medical rhapsody across naval formations nationwide, cultural night, polo and golf tournaments, boat regatta, religious services, and more. Operations, as part of the Chief of the Naval Staff's vision and strategic direction, got the needed attention with resounding success stories to tell. With the flag officers commanding leading from their various commands in synergy, the year under review recorded tremendous breakthroughs in Nigerian Navy's efforts to curtail the menace of crude oil theft, illegal bunkering, and other crimes and criminalities along the nation's waterways. Operation Dakada Barao, meaning Stop the Thief in Hausa language, was one of the success stories worthy of mention. The operation, which was flagged off on Friday, 1st April 2022 at the Federal Ocean Terminal Jetty, One, Rivers State, was a collaborative effort of the Nigerian Navy and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, with the aim of curbing incessant crude oil theft and oil bunkering, with a view to ensuring the economic prosperity of the nation. Within the first 6 months, Operation Dakada Barao, through naval units across the commands, denied oil thieves and economic saboteurs a total accumulated figure of over 32,368,480,214.45 naira, with the arrest of 107 persons and 12 vessels. The operation recorded the deactivation of 293 legal refining sites, 4,582 metal storage tanks, arrest of 1,354 wooden boats, demobilization of 50 vehicles, seizure of 50 speedboats, 249 pumping machines, 163 outboard engines, 8 welding machines, and 32 generator sets. A summary from the year 2022 records showed that a total of 504 illegal refining sites were destroyed, with an estimated value of products denied criminals and economic saboteurs put at 44,829,076,748.3 naira worth of crude oil, 32,508,951,880 naira worth of AGO, 2,038,932,000 naira worth of DKP, and 27,026,545 naira worth of PMS, bringing the figure to a total sum of 79,393,981,163.3 naira worth of products denied economic saboteurs in the year 2022. One of the cardinal priorities of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo, is the welfare of officers and ratings, and the year 2022 saw improvements in areas like training, housing and office accommodations, promotion, sports, and reward systems. The success of the 12th edition of the Nigerian Navy Games 2022, held at the brand new Nigerian Navy Sports Complex, Navy Town, Lagos, between 5th to 13th September 2022, was pointed to this fact. Befitting office and housing accommodation for officers and ratings got attention across naval formations, with some commissioned within Abuja and other parts of the country. The tail end of the year 2022 saw the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Gambo, again performed the groundbreaking ceremony of 2 estates at the Admiralty Estate at Sokoro and the Navy Estate Karachi, Abuja. Aside from boosting the Nigerian Navy training institutions through adequate funding, personnel of the Navy were also deployed to other parts of the world for advanced training, one of which was the deployment of 50 personnel of the Special Boat Service to Poland for advanced special training at European Security Academy. In recognition of commitment to duty, sacrifice, and patriotism, 55 senior officers were promoted to various ranks in the Nigerian Navy, with 25 captains elevated to Commodore, while 30 Commodores were promoted to the rank of Rear Admiral. Also, 122 lieutenant commanders were promoted to the rank of commander, and 38 commanders were promoted to captain. Nigeria, and by extension its Navy, is playing strategic roles in terms of widening opportunities in trade and commerce through its massive crackdown on sea robbers and criminals on its waters and the Gulf of Guinea. These concerted efforts by the Nigerian Navy in collaboration with other international stakeholders has improved safety on Nigeria's waters, so much so that Nigeria was recognized and delisted from the list of piracy-prone nations by the International Maritime Bureau (IMB) in April 2022. The significant success occasioned by the Nigerian Navy's increased maritime security operations against maritime criminalities. It will be recalled that a very large crude oil carrier vessel, MT Heroic Idu, was on Sunday 7th August 2022 intercepted by personnel of the Nigerian Navy on routine patrol around Akpo oil field. The vessel, suspected to be in the area to load crude oil, was accosted and upon interrogation was discovered had no due NNPCL approval and other relevant clearance to either be in the area nor load crude oil. The captain of the vessel, knowing what's at stake, subsequently sailed out of Nigeria's waters towards Sao Tome and Principe Joint Development Zone and into Equatorial Guinea Exclusive Economic Zone, seeking to flee, and in an attempt to cover up raised a false alarm claiming to be under a pirate attack on Nigeria's waters, a claim the Nigerian Navy did not take with kind clothes. While those who can best be described as enemies of the state further escalated the malicious claims, denting the hard-earned image of the Nigerian Navy and making a caricature of the gains made in efforts at keeping Nigerian waters safe from pirates and other criminalities. The Nigerian Navy, however, remained focused and undeterred. Soon, regional collaborations, synergies, and diplomatic tools made possible by the federal government were activated. Contacts were made, informations were exchanged, and MT Heroic was arrested by Equatorial Navy. It is pertinent to note that the Nigerian Navy surveillance facility was used to track and constantly update the Equatorial Guinea Navy on the location of the rogue vessel, which led to its arrest. Subsequently, on 6 November 2022, the arrested MT Heroic and all suspects on board were handed over to the Nigerian authority to face charges leveled against them. and after about 7 days sailed from Equatorial Guinea, the vessel was brought back to Nigeria by the Nigerian Navy on 12 November 2022, bringing to an end the malicious claims and misconceptions from some quarters alleging criminal involvement of the Nigerian Navy in the unauthorized presence of the vessel. Claims that the said vessel loaded large volume of crude oil, as well as piracy attack claims. With an understanding of the enormous benefits of building on strength and capabilities through strategic synergies and collaborations, the Chief of the Naval Staff at all times operates an open-door policy for mutually beneficial partnership in the interest of the Navy and the country. In the outgone year, the Naval Headquarters played host to several high-level visits by heads of governments from within and abroad, local and international organizations, heads of ministries, departments and agencies, traditional rulers and more. Hardly a week passed without the Chief of the Naval Staff receiving guests on a courtesy visit in his office. At the international stage, the Nigerian Navy was well represented at the Euro Naval 2022, a major naval maritime exhibition in Europe. The biennial event, with over a century of history, is a must-attend international event for naval defense stakeholders. The 2022 edition, held in Paris, France, had over 450 exhibitors and 25,000 professional visitors in attendance, where cutting-edge innovations, naval and aircraft defense infrastructure and architecture, as well as communication and training services, were showcased, with a recent addition, the cybersecurity, which featured the latest advancements in cybersecurity. Similarly, in October 2022, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo, was at the Pavilion Royal, Paris, France, where he participated in the 6th Symposium of Chiefs of Staff of Navies of the Gulf of Guinea. The event availed participating Navy chiefs an avenue to interact and share ideas, experiences, and way forward, with the aim of strengthening maritime security and cooperation among navies within the Gulf of Guinea. Also, the Nigerian Navy Chief participated at the 17th African Security Watch Awards and Conference held in Banjul, the Gambia. The awards, initiated in 2004, aimed at recognizing and appreciating individuals, governments, and brands who have excelled in security administration and governance in Africa. The conference also availed countries the rare opportunity to interact and proffer solutions to common security challenges. Leadership, they say, comes with commitments and sacrifices. While the Navy Chief does his job exceptionally well to the best of his ability, the world watched and like. A golden fish, they say, has no hiding place. So is the leadership style of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo, in which he was on 11th October 2022 conferred with Nigeria's national honors of the Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR. Similarly, on Friday 21st October 2022, alongside 43 others, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo was honored with Nigerian Excellence Award in Public Service. The awards, presented by the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, respectively, were in recognition of his selfless and exceptional service to fatherland. Also, at the 17th Africa Security Watch Awards hosted in Banjul, the Gambia, in November 2022, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo was honored with the highest award of the most outstanding naval chief in Africa. The year 2022, no doubt, had its own expectations and challenges. Some were surmounted and achieved, others work in progress. But in all, there were reasons to be thankful for and to celebrate. And in the usual tradition of the Navy, activities of the year were brought to a close with a colorful and entertaining event, the ceremonial sunset. graced by the Chief of Defense Staff, naval icons, past and servant naval officers, other military officers, friends of the Nigerian Navy, and their families. With Nigeria and its Navy playing the big brother role in ensuring that navies across the continent are at the cutting edge in contemporary security issues and solutions. It is not in doubt that a purposeful leadership style of Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo has repositioned the Nigerian Navy to take up this role squarely going forward. And 2023 will most definitely consolidate on gains so far made in 2022, with the assurances of meeting up with expectations and more achievements for the Nigerian Navy, the country, and the continent. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
In 2022, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Zubairu Gambo, left no one in doubt on his commitment to ensuring a safe and secure maritime domain. Until next week, when we shall come your way again, please support the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies in ensuring a safe and secure Nigerian maritime environment. I am Jibrin Baba Ndachi. Onward together.